Hey guys, Omar here with Overlanding Just Cause, and this video is about the 4Runner Stunner, the Jeep Commander. In this video, I want to do a review and talk about my off-road lights. I got night lights from Amazon, and everyone's heard the term buy once, cry once. Well, in this video, I want to explain how true that really is. I also want to give you guys 3 tips on how you can fix that to make it last a little bit longer. Now, the lights. I got a 42-inch bar that's on my roof rack, 648 watts, and according to the package, it has over 30,000 hours of life. I also got a 20-inch bar that came a package deal with 2 4-inch pod lights or ditch lights. People call it different things. That 20-inch bar is 420 watts, and both the 20-inch and the 43-inch bars are both spot and flood combo. The night lights themselves, all the lights are said to be waterproof. Not true. Story time. When I got all my lights, I bought them all at the same time, so they arrived around the same time. I set them on the garage floor, and I didn't get around to installing them until maybe a month after I received them. So once I installed all of them, they all looked good, they all worked well, everything was perfect. I'm not exaggerating. The very next morning I woke up, took a look at them, and the 43-inch bar that was on the roof rack had condensation inside, and it was bad.
Hi, Dad.
Hey, babe.
Oh, you're recording?
Yep.
Sorry.
Okay, bye.
Bye.
So what I ended up doing was calling Amazon. They said, unfortunately, I'm past that 30-day window. So tip number 1 is this. When you get some from Amazon, make sure you give yourself plenty of time to install it, plus plenty of time to make sure that nothing goes wrong, maybe a week or 2 weeks, so that if something does happen, you can return it, no hassle, no questions, and get another one. Okay, I didn't do that. So what I ended up having to do is go and call the nightlight company, and they were super helpful, very good customer service. They asked me to take a picture of the light. I sent it to them, and I got a return email saying that, yep, another one's on the way. So I'm waiting for the replacement light to come in. I took the old light off, and I decided to clean it out and to see if I could still use it. So what I ended up doing was I took off all the bolts. A lot of them were loose, so that's a clue. I took the plexiglass off, I cleaned it, wiped it, everything down. I let it sit for a couple hours to make sure it was all dried out. When I put it back together, make sure all the bolts were tight. Now, tip number 2, make sure all the bolts are tight before you even install. Tip number 3, silicone. So once I put it back together, I tightened up all the bolts, I siliconed it. But along with that tip of siliconing, make sure you take your time. I did not. I had a mess everywhere. It was oozing down. I had silicone on my hands, on my hair. It was a mess. So take your time with the silicone. Make sure the tip of the tube is very small and you don't need a lot, and just make sure you cover everywhere where you think water can go. Okay, now, those are the tips, guys. I hope that helps. Let's talk about the actual install. I have all the lights connected to a 6-gang switch panel, which I also got from Amazon. If I didn't have that 6-gang switch panel, I would have to connect the lights to individual switches that the light came with. I didn't want to do that. I wanted everything centralized and in one spot. So I went with the 6-gang switch panel. It's a little on the pricier side, but it works well. You can obviously get even better quality stuff than what's on Amazon, but it's worked well so far. I haven't had any issues. Haven't had any issues with the lights once I took care of, tightening everything up and siliconing it. Let's take a look at how I installed everything. All right, guys, so it all starts with the 6-gang switch panel. So here's the main box. Again, it has 6 fuses in here. One is a 30 amp, and then the other 5 are 20 amps. which is more than enough to manage LED lights. Here are my connections. I only have 3, right? One for the 42-inch bar on the roof rack, the other one's for the 20-inch bar on the bull bar, and then the other one's for the pod lights. The main wires go from here to the battery, positive and negative, and then the other cord goes through the firewall and ends up inside the driver's side compartment. Into the firewall, I have it all tucked under, and then it comes out. I have double-sided tape, and again, I'm using the 20 amp fuses for the lights. I don't have anything yet that I would need for the 30 amp, which is the first one, and then these two are also clear. As you can see, I have roof, I have bumper, and then I have square lights. As for the lights themselves, they're mounted by these 2 brackets. Now the brackets that came with the Nilights, they weren't compatible with my roof rack. So what I ended up having to do was get 2 L-shaped brackets from Tractor Supply, and I just mounted it on, and it's worked well. I can actually loosen this up and adjust it up, down, wherever I want to go. The lights have held up. As you can see, the silicone bead is all the way around. I even have it up top, and I have it inside. I took all these bolts off and siliconed the inside. So it's well protected, and again, it's a crucial step if you want these lights to last. I made sure that each one of these bolts were nice and tight, along with these on the side. The 20-inch bar, I have them mounted by these clamps right here. I got these off Amazon, 20 bucks. As you can see, they're on there pretty tight. I mean, I'm moving pretty much the whole Jeep around and nothing's budging. But again, same thing, silicone. You see I've kind of made a little mess there, but beaded all the way around, tightened all the bolts, again, took the end caps off and siliconed all the way around. And how I installed the pod lights: beaded, tightened all the screws, and then these are just regular brackets, again from Tractor Supply, that I just mounted to the back of, in this case, this one's the shower, the zero declination shower. The other one I mounted to the back of the OVS awning. Now, I know that ditch lights are supposed to be closer to the driver and passenger side so that they can see down, but these lights are so bright that even back here, they illuminate where the ditch would be, where I would have to look for the tires if I'm driving through something. Now, all the lights are centralized right here. So the lights coming from the pod lights, even the one on the other side, are all coming across, all centralizing here. I got this wire loom. This is the only thing I really don't like about it. I try to make it look as clean as possible, but I got all the wires coming in through here. I've got it in the crease coming down, and then I've got all the lights underneath centralized coming out. You can see all the wires, all positives and negatives coming through, and then they're all going towards the connections. So these are all the positive wires. All the negative wires, I've got them centrally grounded in one place. All right, so this is with my regular HID headlights. When I go to turn on the 42-inch light bar that's on the roof rack, I get that. Now I'm turned into a long soccer field, and I see pretty far down the field. I'm gonna turn off the 42-inch light bar. I'm gonna turn on the 20-inch light bar that's on the bull bar on the front bumper. And again, the bull bar, the 20-inch light bar, plus the 42-inch light bar gives me that. I also have the pod lights that are on towards the rear of the roof rack. And honestly, they should be in the front, towards the front of the roof rack, but I didn't have a spot for them, so I put them back there. And they still work as ditch lights, so if I'm going down the trail and I need to see what's right next to my side view mirror and I turn them on, it lights it up pretty decently. Hey guys, so thanks for watching. If you have any questions, leave them in the comments below. Also, if you have any extra tips that can help others out, please leave them in the comments also for people to read. Any way to make your lights last longer, or anything that you've done differently, just leave them in the comments. People read it and they get ideas. So again, thanks for watching. Stay tuned for next week's video, guys, and be safe. Happy New Year.